Hey guys, welcome to my video. Today, I hope you guys enjoyed my last tournament video at Match Point, Columbus, Ohio. So we are back here again actually, but this time we're getting a 2-hour training with ex-German pro Chance Fred. Peaked at 2600. He's consistently top 10 in the US and he's honestly insane. So I wanted to get some high quality training and lessons before I go back to Florida for college and play for FSU. So right now we're just doing some basic forehand drills. What he's telling me soon is that I need to not only transfer my weight through rotation, but I need to really hit through the ball and go into the ball. This is an important feeling to develop later on that we're going to be mentioning during countering, and especially with the forehand and backhand, I think it's a very important key. So I learned a lot today, and honestly, most of my improvement and growth has been self-taught. I have had coaches, and I do have a coach that helps me back at FSU and locally, but most of my foundation and strokes and things like that have been self-taught and improvised based on YouTube videos and my own gameplay and performance in tournaments, trying to figure out why I'm doing things wrong and how I can play better. So it's all a learning process, but my goal is to hit 2,000 pretty soon. I don't know how likely that is, but we'll try. So I think a really important thing for me right now with my game as an around 1850 player, I'm trying to get to 2,000, and I think most points are won off of who can attack first. So it's pretty common that the person who is able to open up with high quality first will win the point. So I'm trying to develop a countering game so that I'm able to turn that over if I do happen to maybe get a bad receive, and they open up on me. I need to be able to convert their attack into my possession and kind of have a higher chance of winning those type of points rather than it being majority of them, even though it most likely will. I need to get better at controlling the point and making it pretty even, or even my point after they open up. So yeah, it's something I struggled with because I don't really have a lot of practice here when I'm back home. There's not a lot of high quality players who can really produce that type of game for me, but it's really good practice for me to play with Chance here so I can try to develop that feeling. And even though I can't learn everything in one day, having the right feeling and know what to do for the shots is something that I can continue to practice in future lessons and trainings. Right now we're doing topspin kick with the backhand. So earlier he was just kind of block driving, and then I was looping from a semi-mid distance, like a close to mid distance. This is where I usually play my backhand. But now we're doing a drive, like a spin kick with the backhand. So with this, it's important to generate your own spin. And I realized this later on why it's important that he's teaching me this, because same with the forehand and backhand, when you're countering, you want to generate your own spin and not just rely on the other person's power and spin. Unless you're blasting the ball at you, then you don't want to counter that, especially with the backhand. But yeah, with the kick, you want to be able to generate your own spin and keep your hand high, especially during top spin balls and no spin balls, because leaving it low will lead to consistencies and probably overshoot a lot, which is a problem I have. So I'm trying to keep my hand high more. And also the timing is the most important thing with the backhand, I think I struggle with, because sometimes if I know the ball's coming to my backhand, I'll start my stroke early, even before the ball passes over the net, where it should be later on. After the ball passes over the net, I should be starting my stroke and hitting through the ball. So he's telling me I have a lot more time than I think. So yeah, we're doing kick, and overall, after a few minutes, I get more used to the right feeling I should be feeling. It's not perfect yet, obviously, but I'm getting the correct feeling here. Rushing on my own side and waiting for the ball is the main thing. It's just a practice thing I gotta get used to, developing that feeling and timing, but yeah, I'm understanding it better.
feel that you're waiting for the ball to come up for at least 2 minutes out, and then press the ball and go forward. That you're giving a little bit of you want to feel that you're down the ball. So like if I give you very deep, that might be from here. If the ball's landing like more in this range, which is probably like the most common, depending on where you're playing. If you give a good push, they're gonna give you like this a lot. You want to really feel that you're going. So you're starting from like half a step off the table and then coming to the ball.
So now we're going to practice doing counters. So he's going to slow spin because it's a pretty common scenario. If you give a good push, then most people, 90% of people, he said even at a high level, they will even slow loop it. But yeah, they'll slow loop if you give a good push. They don't really have a better option. They can't really blast it unless they know exactly that the ball is coming to them in that speed and pace and spin. So it's important here that you hit through the ball. So right here, in the first few minutes, I don't have a good feeling for the ball. I never really developed the right form for a counter and the right feeling. So kind of just, my forehand counter has always kind of just been like a winging it type of shot. But yeah, I've been trying to develop, I need to develop this feeling of hitting through the ball and staying low and engaging my core. So not only am I rotating, like I said earlier, just from right to left, I really need to engage my core, stay low before the shot and after the shot, and not really rely on my hand. So I noticed today that a lot of my shots that missed were because I used a lot more arm than I should in my forehand. So whenever I focus on using like almost all body, I also shouldn't sit down when I'm hitting the shot. So like even though the ball's coming a little bit higher than I am, that doesn't mean I have to sit down into the shot. I should go just more forward and down into the shot instead, or just going straight down. So the key thing is really adding your own spin to the ball and going forward into the ball, and meeting the ball where it is. And he was saying like the distance where you counter just depends on the ball they give you. So if they give you a deeper shot, you will play it farther back. But if most people play a more shallow open up with the slow spin, then it will most likely be closer to the table, like these are. But yeah, I noticed if I ever, most shots that I miss, my core was not tight and my elbow would fall behind my body. So I would loosen up so really my hand and my forearm should be loose, but I would say my shoulder should not be involved at all. So if you see right here, I'm using my body to fully counter rather than actually just countering with solely the motion of my arm. And my hand should follow along with my body movement.
And less arm. It should not be a lot more. It should really feel like starting from your feet, engaging the hips, engaging the core, let your hand follow. And really, you cannot play the ball from here. Always inside the ball. As you're recovering from the push, if you're recovering very low, that you can control. This one a little bit early.
Also, I noticed if I end up using like a half stroke and not my full body, so I started developing the feeling if I don't use my full body, then it'll result in kind of like a windshield wiper type of forehand, and you'll notice in some of the shots I'll be incomplete and I won't know where the ball's hitting, or I'll just completely miss, or just not even hit the table like that. So it'll kind of like look awkward with my arm, and it's because I'm not doing a full body motion. I should be kind of like a block, waiting for the ball to come to the right side of my body and then completing fully and going into the ball instead of just doing a half stroke. The follow through is really important, I feel like, with this, as I noticed more of my shots started going in with higher quality and consistency when I used full body.
Try to feel that you're not stepping to it as you're playing, but that you're measuring to see where the ball is going. Step to it. Yes. You can feel the last two, how the ball like kick off the outside, right? That's more kind of the pressure. When you get too much of where you're hitting the ball goes wrong.
So now here, what we're doing is he's giving me more of like a normal loop, not really a slow spinny open up, but like a average loop on if I give like a dead push. If someone gives me a non-killer ball and just gives me a normal open up, I can actually act like it's a kick scenario where I add my own spin to the ball and counter like that. But on a very spinny loop, it's better to just kind of press down onto the ball, and then the next ball will most likely be this type of ball where it's like a normal loop. So I could either block it or counter drive like I am right now, or I'm adding my own spin to the ball.
Here's what we're going to try. I'm going to give you one like slow heavy spin, and then this, and then the second one I'll do normal. No problem, here we go. Yes? Yeah, that's right. Right, so. Yes. As soon as your body starts to come up, let your hands follow. Yeah? You have to feel that each time that we're pressing into the ball with the ball. That's right. That's right. You feel. Yes? Yes. Yeah. That it's a little bit more like quick movement with the core, a little bit less. Yeah. The slow spin like this, you can play like full. When I give you more of the driving ball and get on you a little bit faster, so you have to feel a little bit more like quick. This range is where you're making the most micro. So like your footing for this ball is drastically different than your footing for this ball. So really thinking of trying to get around the ball as well. Let's do a couple just from here. And I want you to try to play it here. So really getting around, but you can feel compressing. And same from while you're, as you're moving, don't let the hand pull back. Yeah? Keep in front that you're turning back, not that the hand goes back. Body forward, yes. Body forward. Yeah. Yes. Stay very low. Stay very low. Yes. Yes. Okay. Making sure that we're not pulling to the side. Really feeling that we're finished. Front. Yes. Yes. Okay. Forward. Yes. Forward. Good. Body forward. Yes. Yeah, you feel the last two. Relax. I give you all the energy you need. Thinking, staying pretty low, keep the hand up, and just kind of gentle pressure. That's enough. Just a touch closer. Yes. Move on. Relax. Yes. It should feel like pretty smooth and like relatively compact. Yes, this is good. Go make your own spin. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You focus on your forward. When you're recovering, don't go back down with the hand very high, but the racket very low.
Okay, so here he's telling me that I should really focus on the recovery. So right after the shot, I should focus on staying low and not just bringing back up after my first open up, and really using my body to recover rather than my arm. So if I really open up with my arm, then the recovery will be a little bit slower, and it'll be slow enough to where I can't get to that next ball on time. So really hitting with my core instead of my arm, on an open up is more important because it'll help for faster recovery.
Everybody in Ohio that's not me just by playing the ball on the field. Good, very good. Continue. Your spin was yeah. You feel like more engaged. Yeah, right? Yeah, this was very good. No. No sitting. Yeah? Really feeling that the pressure is going. Yeah. It's energy transfer. Right? Wait, sorry. You're getting a little bit of like fading across. Try to really feel that you're going. That's why our balls are. You have a lot of time, but it feels like you don't. Good. Yes. Yeah, this was your best part. And just spin. Don't let your body feel that you're going.